Hey, it's LSFT here today, and today I'm here to give a few updates from this week's news from Lexus and Toyota. So, the first thing is the 2023 Lexus NX450h Plus, the Canadian version pricing has officially shown up on the Lexus website. So, you can see here we have the 2022 and we have the 59,950, just enough to qualify for the IZEV program. So now we go to the 2023. You now see in the 2023, we also have the NX450h Plus finally. And when you look at this, the price is exactly the same, 59,950. So no price increase, at least at this base trim. But one thing I would say is something is wrong here. This information does not look like the correct information because when you look at 2022, it shows 304 net horsepower. In 2023, now it's 181. Either they kept the price and lowered the horsepower, or it's a boo boo. Anyways, now let's go to the packages, or actually the packages. So we go to continue, and you see here the ultra premium standard package is 0, 15,450, and 16,400. Let's remember that because we're going to go back to 2022 and select the 450, 15,450, and 16,400. So you can see there is no changes in the pricing either from the standard package to the packages. There is no changes in pricing. That's good news for the folks who had ordered in 2022 and still haven't seen their 2022 NX 450h Plus. Now the 2023 is exactly the same price. But one thing I've also noticed is they have not included the rebate. I'm assuming they haven't included it is because the Canadian government has not listed the 2023 as qualifying for the IZEV, and probably soon when it does, that will be added to the calculator. Okay, so right now I'm actually showing the 2022 specifications on the left side that was pulled in August 27th, 2022, and the new 2023 November 3rd, 2022 pulled out. And you can now see that on the 2023 NX, it now shows the NX450h Plus. Whereas the previous one that I showed in my previous video, it only had up to the 350. Now when you look at the comparison, it looks like there's some weird numbers in the dimensions. You can see here that the dimensions of the 450h Plus is zero point 0.1 inch smaller than the 350. I do not know why there's some discrepancy here, whereas last year it was exactly the same. When you go down the list, the height is also different. You can see that it's actually 0.1 inch, a little shorter, and the wheelbase is the same. So then you look at the ground clearance, but then you look at the headroom. There's some differences here. The front legroom is also some. There's no differences. Well, it's 1 millimeter. And then we look at the weight is only a little bit different. And let's scroll down. One of the biggest problem that we see here is this 181 at 6,000 RPM, which doesn't look right unless this is the engine component and not including the electric engine. That could be the case, but I don't know. Drag coefficient and all that is exactly the same. Now we look at brakes, no change here. I've actually gone through this already. They've actually did the same thing where they move things around, so it's very hard to compare. And I'm not going to spend too much time here. The only thing that I'm seeing that is different, which I in some ways question, is there's three things that I've noticed that's different. One is, let me try and find it. Okay, So one of the differences I see is this rear camera washer is now listed as an option, like as a feature in the 2023, whereas here it does not show it. And here it only shows that it's available on the NX250 and the NX450h Plus. So anybody who actually owns a NX350, 350h, do you guys have the rear camera washer? Like I do, I know that my NX450h Plus 2022 does have the rear camera washer. So I don't know if it's something that they're dropping, or it's something that now they've didn't list it in 2022, and now they're just trying to add it back as a feature of the NX. So owners of 2022 NX 350, 350h, do you have that rear camera washer? So the next thing that I've noticed that's different is the F Sport shift knob. You can see here it says that the NX 350 is an option to have the F Sport shift knob, which makes sense because the F Sport will actually get the shift knob, but the non F Sport ones will get the normal shift knob, the wrap one. But then they're showing here the NX450h has it as an option, as not an option, but more as a feature. And you can see here that the leather wrapped shift knob is also a checkbox. So this is where it's a bit weird because in 2022, it does say the F Sport 3 F Sport shift knob is the one that actually gets the F Sport shift knob, but the executive package does not offer that. So, but then with these two checked, I'm just thinking that this is another boo-boo that they've made here. Like only the F Sport 3 will get the shift knob, but not the executive or the standard. And the last thing that I found that's different is the drive mode selector. And this seems to be the same trend of an issue where they're saying that the drive mode selector gets the Sport, S, and Sport Plus and the custom mode. It's optional in 350, which again makes sense because that is part of the F Sport trim. But here, when you look at the NX450h Plus, it has a checkbox, which means it's standard, meaning the standard base one also gets the Sport S Plus, and the custom mode, which again, I think this is also wrong. It should be an I here where it has optional. So other than that, I don't think I've seen any differences. They have not removed any features. They have not done anything out of the ordinary, especially when you look at the pricing has not changed at all. So kudos to Lexus. They've maintained the price so that they can qualify for the IZEV rebate, and I'm hoping that will actually make some potential owners or people who's waiting in line happier because the prices have not gone up, and the only difference is the interest rates unfortunately has gone up. But at least you're not getting doubled hit with the increase of the vehicle and increase of interest rates. So last week I provided an update on the production numbers from Toyota. They changed it from 9.7 million to 9.5 million, and now based on this news on November 1st, they're saying that based on the chip crunch, their profits have gone down 25%. And also, when you look at this, now they're bringing the target numbers to 9.2 million. So now that's another 300,000 units reduced for the remaining of the year. And it doesn't look nice, so it means that they're really having problems with supply, either with the chips or with the steel. And I'm hoping that there won't be any more, but based on the numbers that we're seeing in the last quarter, the production has actually rebounded 30%, which is a good thing. But there's just so many disasters that's causing the shortages of everything, causing problems with production. So we're right now on Automotive News website, and they have released the numbers for Toyota and Lexus for the month of October. So you can see here that Lexus has sold 21,797 cars in 2022 October versus the 22,631 in 2021. That's down 3.7%. And when you look at the first 10 months, it's down 15.7%. So they're still selling way below as normal. And then Toyota, when you look at it, 165,570 for 2022 October compared to last year, 124,000. That's a 33.5% increase from last year, which is very good. So it does show that Toyota is now being able to produce more vehicles. And when you look at the full month of Toyota Motor North America, it's up 27.7%. But then when you compare that to the first 10 months, overall we're still down 12.2% in North America, and Lexus is still down 15.7%. So it looks like there's some recovery, but then there's also some drawback because of the shortages and all that. Then when you look at Acura, Genesis, when you compare that with Lexus, Lexus has actually been doing much better than Acura and Genesis. Genesis is down 17.9% this month, and Acura down 9.1%. And when you look at Acura, they're down 38.8% for the first 10 months. Genesis, as a new brand, they're doing quite well. They're at 14.2% for the year, the first 10 months. So overall, when you look at it, Lexus is doing much better than Acura, but from when you compare to Genesis, from a first 10 months, they're still not as good. But again, their volume is much higher. Then when you compare to the Genesis for October, Lexus is doing much better than Genesis is. So at the time of recording this video, Toyota has not released a press release providing the breakdown of each model and even what it is like the amount of electrification, which ones are hybrids or plug-in hybrids. The only information that I've been able to pull is information regarding the 21,797 units and the breakdown by model. So you see here we have the breakdown based by per model, and then when you look at the car division, it's about 5,000 vehicles sold in October, whereas the SUVs, the truck division, 16,767. And you can still see that the RX is still the number one selling, 8,252, where follows by the NX, then the ES, then the GX, and then the IS. And the rest are really low volume vehicles. So now we have spreadsheet number 2, the Lexus US Sales. And I've actually broken this down by models and also getting it per month by year. So this is actually great information. And the information that I had for October is now put into this sheet. And now we can do some comparisons here. So you can see here that the UX this year has right now sold 8,474 units compared to previous years. It's still significantly low. Then we look at the NX. So the NX, if you look at it, we're at 37,000 compared to 58,000. So it's going to be under, definitely. Even if they can produce 6,000 per month of November and December, it's nowhere close to the 58,000 that they've sold last year and the previous years. Now we look at the RX, 88,551. We have 2 more months. Just wondering if Lexus can actually get this over the 100,000 mark. So we're about 11,000 shy of that. So potentially the RX can still sell over 100,000 vehicles this year. We look at the GX. GX is at 24,000. Not too bad. If you look at 2020, they can actually get close to that point. And then the LX, which is new, is not doing that well. 2,800 units, and last year was 3,500, and previously were 4,000-ish. So when you look at the numbers, they are quite comparable to last year. So target-wise, probably around 3,000-ish. We look at the IS. IS last year did a very good month with the new redesigned model. But now when you look at this year, I think they're going to get close to what they sold last year in the IS. ES has gone down. If you look at it, overall, it's still 10,000 shy, and looks like they're doing about 3,000 to 4,000 a month. So with that, you'll get about 42,000. So it'll still be less than previous year. The LS has been dropping year over year, so most likely we're going to see a drop again. LC, um, we're not expecting this to be a high seller. So when you look at it, 1,000 is not bad. It probably will meet the 2020 mark. Then the last RC. RC has always been a low selling one too. And when you look at it, you're probably going to hit close, but probably still below 2021's number. And when you look at the total of all the vehicles, we're looking at right now 220,407 units. With 2 more months, probably will reach 270,000, close to 2020 mark. And now we scroll down because a lot of you actually subscribe just because of the NX. And one thing that it's quite interesting, I'm going to zoom in for the here so I can look at this number much larger. You can see in 2021, the NX actually had the best selling months from March all the way to August. And then when you look at it, 2018, when there was a refresh, it did quite well in the first 2 months. And 2017, September was the best month there. And now when you look at it, October, with chip shortages and all that, the 2022 sales of October is actually the highest selling month of the NX, of its history of the NX has ever been. It's quite surprising. Even with chip shortages, shortages, it actually has beat all the months that we've ever seen in the NX. It could also be related to all the August and September lower numbers and bringing it all to October. Maybe that's the reason why. But then when you look at November, it's 6,400 as the highest. And then in December, the highest is 8,764. So 2018 was probably a very good month, of a good year for the NX because they sold 62,000 2018 models. And now if you look at here, we're probably looking at under 50,000 units, which is similar to the 2015 when the original first generation came out. Hoping that November, December will break these numbers, but I don't think it will be possible, but it could be close. So let's see how this all turns out. So now we go to Toyota Canada. Toyota Canada actually released the sales numbers for October on November 1st. I guess there's less units to count, and that's why they can release it faster than the United States. So Toyota Canada said they sold 16,581 units across the 2 brands for October, and that's up 8.2% comparing to October 2021. The Toyota brand is actually up 9.6%. They sold 14,129, whereas the Lexus division actually went up 1.1% in October, and that's 2,452 units. And then they actually did divide a little bit more information here where they're saying that overall the electrified vehicles are 28.5% overall, and the Lexus division actually sold 54.5% overall, which are electrified vehicles. So if you look at that, 2,452, 54.5%, that's over 1,000 something units of electrified vehicles, which means hybrids, plug-in hybrids for October 2022. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please comment, like, and share this video. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel and press that alert button to get notified when new videos are posted. If you'd like to support the channel, you can definitely provide a super thanks. I'll see you guys again next time in the next video.